It is that time. We are doing my favourite albums of 2024. I know it's early in December, but as I said in my previous video of the most disappointing albums of 2024, check that one out as well. I am away for the second half of the month, so this month is the first half, and let's just get the big one out the way, rip the band-aid off, because we're doing the best albums of 2024, and again, as always, we do these lists. Let me know yours down below, because it's fun to see what albums we all share in common, and what albums maybe I love that you absolutely hate. So if any of these albums that crop up you despise, please tell me, because it's all in the name of fun. So, who's gonna guess? Who's gonna guess what's my number one of the month? Year, sorry, it's not month, it's year. Who's gonna guess? But we'll get to that. So let's start with my number 10, which is Blood Incantation, Absolute Elsewhere. This album is insane. I'm sure this will make a lot of people's end of the year list, and for sure it made mine. I wasn't big into it at first, but like most albums which I love, it grew on me. I love the whole trip, the whole atmosphere. It's like 2 long songs with loads of passages in between, and the Stargate, the first half, the first song is just such a phenomenal song. It really is one of my favourites of the year, and we'll get to my favourite songs as well in a video. I just think that is one of the best songs of the whole year. It feels like you are flying through space, going through stargates, just interacting with alien life forms. It's so up my alley. I adore it. And the jazz influences are so cool. It's got the death metal growls. It's got everything mixed in. This progressive death metal masterpiece by Blood Incantation. I think it deserves to be on everyone's top lists. But I haven't listened to it as much as some of the other albums, so it is at number 10. But I still really enjoy it. So yeah, Blood Incantation, Absolute Elsewhere. I think it's a phenomenal album, and yeah, it could go higher, but that's where it is. Number 9 is one I bought. Nails, Every Bridge Burning. I did not expect this to be on my list. I really didn't. You know, this isn't usually the kind of music that makes my kind of top 10. I do love the more atmospheric kind of style of things, kind of like Blood Incantation's album and a few others that you'll see soon. I love atmospheric albums, but this is just balls to the walls. It's like 20-something minutes long of just smashing you over the head with a concrete brick. I don't know how you hold a brick like that, but by golly, I'll find a way. It's just pure intensity the whole way through. The riffs are so killer. The short songs are just intense as all hell. I've never really given Nails a chance, but after this album, I'm in love. These songs are amazing. Absolute intensity up the wazoo, just pure adrenaline shot straight into your veins, just the way Daddy likes it. It's so good. I love it. Yeah, I didn't expect to love this one as much as I did, but I'm glad I gave it a shot because it ended up being on my favourite albums of the year. I'm not going to pull any physical copies out, even though I do own it. You can go back in my videos if you think I'm lying, because I've shown them before. But yeah, I love it. Enough to buy it, which is absolutely just crazy. I didn't think this kind of album would make it, but it did. Next up, another one I own, Inquisition's Veneration of Medieval Mysticism and Cosmological Violence. It's a mouthful, just like most Inquisition albums. Come on, you don't think I miss Inquisition, right? The vinyl, Black Mass from Mass Grave up there. A lot easier to say. This is kind of like I wouldn't say return to the roots, but it feels more like the first 2 albums. It's a lot more, I don't know, a lot heavier, a lot less cosmic, like the last couple. It's the last couple of songs, yeah, sure, but throughout of it, it is a lot more intense, a lot more aggressive, and I think it's catchy as hell. Most of the songs on this album slap. I don't think they can do any wrong. That's not saying anything about the members, but the music can do no wrong. I love it to pieces. One of my favourite bands of all time, and they delivered a banger. Of course Inquisition's going to make my top 10. It's me, Questy. I love Inquisition. So yeah, Inquisition. We're going to say it again. Veneration of medieval mysticism and comsological violence. There you go. That's my next pick. Next up, oh boy, this is so good. Do I swap it? I'm going to swap it on the fly. Nope, next up is Yoth Iria with Blazing Inferno, Hellenic Masters. Oh, I love this album so much. I think it's better than the first one. Some people start screaming at me. I don't care. The riffs on here, earworms, absolute earworms. Hellenic scene is just so good with making memorable riffs, and every single song on this album is just catchy as anything. It's catchier than COVID. The groove of it, the kind of Middle Eastern vibe going on, I just think it's just such a full package. It blasted my eardrums off as soon as I heard it, and, you know, they can do no wrong so far. If they keep going like this quality, then they'll be a force to be reckoned with, and I think they are. I mean, they smoked Rotting Christ's new one. Varathron's new one was pretty good, and so was Necromantia's, but Yoth Iria smoked Rotting Christ's new one, so there's a new king in the ring, baby. His name is Yoth Iria. If you like that kind of black metal, definitely give this one a shot, and the album art is so cool. Come on, how can you not give that a listen? So that's my next pick. Coming in next, which is what I swapped, is Judas Priest's Invincible Sheild. Invincible Sheild! Judas Priest making an album this good, this late into the career, is phenomenal. Firepower was fantastic as well. They're just hitting on all cylinders. I love Giants in the Sky. Such a great song, an homage to the legends. And then, of course, Invincible Sheild. I love, there's too many songs on this album which are just fun, catchy, rip-roaring, heavy metal goodness, which is a nice palate cleanser from all the black and death and power and every other extreme metal genre that I listen to. Yes, I said power metal's extreme. Yeah, it is a nice palate cleanser. It's different. I love it. What can I say? Judas Priest, absolute legends in the game. Yeah, gotta rep Invincible Sheild. One of the best of the whole year. Now we're getting into the home stretch. Aquilus with Bellum 2. Aquilus, I love them. Bellum 1, one of my favourite albums of all time. Grisius, one of my favourite albums of all time. The atmosphere, the melancholy, the classical, mixing in classical music with the black metal just works so well. And this, I don't like it as much as Bellum 1, but that's not saying much because that's a 10 out of 10. And this is like a 9 out of 10. I still love it. It has the atmosphere. It has the mood. It's a great follow-up. Great sequel. And again, they're another one like Yoth Iria where they're just so consistent. They're on like the same playing field the entire time. So consistent. Every single album you know is going to be great and grandiose. The music is just phenomenal. It is like you're in a theatre watching these dark masters at play. So good, so ominous, the music, and eerie, but beautiful at the same time, and I like that. Now we come to the final four, and this was the most ridiculously hard decision of the year. I think this year has been insane for music. These four have swapped so many times. Literally so many times these four have swapped. I could put this one as my number one. I'm not going to, but I could very easily put it as my number one. But for right now, it's number 4, and that is NILE. The Underworld Awaits Us All. I think every single song on this album is catchy, is memorable, is a banger. I love it. To Strike with Secret Fang, that very short one, so fun. What's the chapter of not being hung upside down and made to eat feces by the 4 great apes? Just the best title ever. So heavy, so good. The first song, like a fearsome wind, too good as well. Nakeda 2, it's just one of the catchiest choruses when all the women start singing as well. We got to cleanse the black earth, and the growls come in after that. Oof, oof. I blast this in the car, you just go speeding. One of the heaviest of the year. NILE's my favourite death metal band, so of course it's going to be in here, and I could easily put this number 1. Any other year, I might have put this number 1. But at the moment, it's number 4. Shining the light of Ra. True Gods of the Desert, my favourite song on the album. It's just phenomenal how good this album is. It's a 10. All my 4 are a 10. But next up, number 3, am I going to change anything? Ooh. Oh, this is too hard, mate. This is too hard. Number 3 is I've forgotten how to say it. Paysage? I just say Paysage Diver. Paysage Diver? Fuck it, I've forgotten. Who cares? Pronunciation. Up the ass. This is like a 2-hour-long, epic, monumental album of atmospheric black metal, raw to the core. Raw to the core! It's too fun. Paysage has so many good albums. The debut, well, I say albums, a lot of demo albums, but they're like hour, 2 hours long, so I'll consider them albums anyway. The demo, the self-titled one, phenomenal. Winter Cult, phenomenal. What's it called? Not Geister, the one before that. Involved, one of my favourite albums of that year. This one, it almost levels them. Like, it's almost just as good as all them, if not better. 2 hours of pure snowstorm, just bliss. You know, if you like that kind of raw kind of stuff like Bellum, you'll love this band. I'll put the name down in the description because I can never pronounce it, but I think this album is just an absolute journey through the mountains. You need this album on if you're going on a trek. It is a perfect trek album, like Ulver's Berge. This is a perfect accompaniment. You just gotta get used to the rawness. I love the rawness. Some people might not, but I think it's phenomenal. And it could easily be my number 1. Could easily. But I've got 2 more to go, and I'm thinking which one's going to be 1 and which one's going to be 2. Am I going to pull a fast one? It really doesn't. I could swap all 4 of these. It's ridiculous. Number 2, I'm going to go with Opeth, The Last Will and Testament. That's correct. It's not number 1. It could easily be, though. 10 out of 10 album. I was iffy on it at first because it's so chaotic, so progressive, but then I listened and listened and listened, and I've listened to it like at least 16 times right now, and every song is so memorable now. The flute solo in paragraph 4, the ending solo of the very last song was one of the beautiful things they've ever done. I love the whole story, kind of like Succession. I love every song. I love every song. The growls are back with Mikkel. You know, the last will and testament of God. Oh, it's just too good. Oh, I'll turn into Cookie Monster then. My throat's dry, okay? The best growls in the whole game. The best growls in the game. But also the melodicism is there. It's got the folky elements. It's got jazz. It's got synthesizers. It's got everything you need. Everything you need. It's the most unique Opeth album they've ever done. And it's the best one in 20 years. It's crazy. Best one since Watershed. Easily. Yeah, it'll rise higher. Maybe I'll kick myself for not having it number 1 next year, after listening to it too many times. But, again, minute differences. So, what is the number 1 of the year? It's an album, you're like, not NILE, not Paysage, not Yoth, iria. What the hell's it gonna be? What is it gonna be? Well, let me tell you, Sonny Jim, it's an album I've not mentioned on the channel at all. That's correct. It's gonna be a complete surprise, but you guys know I love them. Djevel with Natt till End is my favourite album of 2024. I think this is just a masterpiece of black metal. It just is. It is. The mood is palpable. You can taste the mood, the eeriness, the creepiness, the choir-like vocals on the second song, and then it hits in with a riff after that. Just sends shivers down my spine. This is just a phenomenal piece of work. The very last song, which goes on and repeats itself, kind of like a Bellum-esque song, just is stuck in my head. Then you have such catchy riffs without the middle couple of songs as well. I'm not even going to try and pronounce them. I'll butcher the hell out of them. I can say the title track, Natt till End. But yeah, that's about it. This whole album's a mood. It is a mood. Paysage is similar kind of vein as this, but this is a lot shorter and I guess more catchier. But it still has that evil mysticism about it. I saw these guys live, and with the candles and everything, it just was the most terrifying show ever. Doesn't need a bunch of fire, doesn't need a bunch of blood being thrown at the audience, just them standing there menacingly singing these songs. It was terrifying, and I loved every second of it. I think this album is a 10 out of 10. I think it's a perfect album, and I'm happily putting it as number 1. There you go. Djevel, Natt till End is my favourite album of this year. But again, this is such a hard year. Opeth could easily be number 1. Paysage could easily be number 1. NILE could easily be number 1. Those are just far and away my favourites of the whole year, but the rest I love too. So, what did you think of my list? Are you surprised? Do you love any of these? Do you hate any of these? Let me know down below, and we'll come at you with some more videos soon. We'll do my favourite songs. We'll do the Spotify Wrapped. We'll do your favourite albums of the year, and also some most anticipated of 2025. Lots to look forward to. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.